These are some of the largest airplanes in the world, and today I'm going to show you why the future no longer holds a place for these Big Berthas. But first, we got Joe Biden's whip.
I was going to put him...
More commonly known as the 747 by Boeing. The idea to build the 747 was first introduced in 1958. These dudes, Pan Am Airways, you may know them, they wanted to build a plane 2.5 times the size of the current 707. This was to reduce the cost of seating and also reduce the amount of airplanes that were on the ramp at once. So Boeing hopped on the project and started to develop an aircraft that would meet these requirements. Then finally in 1968, boom, just like that, the first 747 would roll out on the tarmac. There's been a variety of cool and weird variants of the 747 built throughout the decade. For example, we got the Beluga wannabe, the Squidward looking ass, flexing on the haters. Can I get a piggyback ride? Oh god, what is that? And last off, the Virgin Mobile. Unfortunately, the last 747 to ever be built was delivered to Atlas Air in 2023. But this doesn't mean the 747 is going extinct. It still has a pretty long future in front of it. And on that note, there's only one group of people that hate Boeing more than Anakin hated the Sand People. This is the Airbus A380, the largest passenger plane in the world. It was built in hopes to challenge the 747 in the long-haul market. They wanted to make the A380 15% more efficient than the 747.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Finally, throughout the years of development, the first A380 was ready to fly in 2000. I always think of the A380 as the British plane.
I live in Smethwick, Birmingham, if you want the fucking brawl.
And the 747 as the America plane. This might be due to the full-length double-deck design, you know, British people. Just like the 747, the A380 is slowly being phased out due to the lack of demand. In 2021, the last airplane was built. Next, we got the Spruce Goose. So basically during World War II, the U.S. was losing so many of the merchant ships faster than they could rebuild them, thanks to the German U-boats. So in order to solve the ship shortage problem, the government was like, why not just take a boat and slap some wings on it, you know, because submarines can't fly. So this guy, Howard Hughes, decided to take on the task of creating a cargo hauling seaplane. The government gave him $18 million and 2 years to build this beast of a plane. Oh, yeah, and they also told him he could not use steel or aluminum, because World War II had such a high demand for these materials. So he built the plane primarily out of wood. Eventually, a few years later, the H-4 Hercules was ready to take its first flight. But it only flew for 26 seconds, and also World War II was over, so nobody had use for the Spruce Goose. It was never really clear if the plane was unable to fly for a long distance, but they retired it right after its first flight. Then eventually someone bought it for $1 and now it rests at the Evergreen Aviation Museum. This is the Antonov 225. The Antonov was originally built for the purpose of carrying space shuttles for the Soviet Union. It was also the largest plane in the world, well, up until it was caught in some crossfire and then destroyed by the Russian military in 2022. But there's no need to cry about its destruction. They are trying to rebuild it. I have no idea how, but I assume they're starting from scratch. I feel like the reason why larger airplanes like jumbo jets are being phased out is mainly due to the introduction of new aircraft. These new aircraft are making jumbo jets, you know, seem less attractive, mainly because of the cost of fuel, and these new airplanes are way more fuel efficient. You can basically blame it on the A320. Now, I want to say thank you guys for subscribing to this YouTube channel. I gained 50 subscribers over the last couple of weeks. I was not expecting to get like 2,000 views on my last video, so that was pretty nice. I really appreciate the subscriptions. Thank you guys, and peace out.